Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie a lively Legz pheasant tail nymph. The hook I have in the vise is a 2 extra long nymph hook. I'm going to start out by putting 10 thousandths lead wire on there. I'm going to put on about a dozen wraps. Then we're going to break that off. Push that together. And break off that rear section. Going to use an olive brown thread. Going to start that thread behind the eye. We want to keep our lead wraps 1 eye length from the eye of the hook. Go ahead and wrap that in. And we'll bring our thread back to where the thread would hang at the barb of the hook. I'm going to start out with a tail, and I have this isn't a center, but it's a side off the center. Got good center barbels here. We're going to take maybe about a half a dozen. We're going to tie in the tail, and we want that tail to be about 3/4 the length of the hook shank. Size them up, and we're going to secure them. Now I'm going to take extra fine copper wire for our rib. We're going to tie that in. I'm going to wrap this up to the lead wraps. Now I have a lot of pheasant tail left there, so I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to use that for the abdomen. Just going to take that and tie that right back in. Tie that right back to the tail, and then move that forward. Cover over those lead wraps a little better. We're going to just come slightly onto the lead wraps. I'm going to take my hackle pliers. I'm going to give that a twist, maybe 1 turn, and we're going to wrap that. Giving it that turn keeps them from separating for you. And we're going to tie that down. Take those hackle pliers off. Give that couple of wraps. Now we're going to take that fine copper wire and we're going to counter wrap that, being the opposite direction we wrapped the pheasant tail. We're going to palmer that, nice open space, right up, and we're going to tie that in. Now we can take that and remove the excess. That extra fine copper wire isn't going to do any damage to your scissors. Bring that thread back to the abdomen there. Now I'm going to take a piece of that soft side of the pheasant tail. You can use the regular side if you'd like. I'm going to take that, and you see there's a dark side and a lighter side. I'm going to tie it in so I see the dark side. I want to have a little lighter of a back on the wing case. This is about 3/4 of an inch long. I'm going to tie that in, bring that right back to the abdomen there. And we can go ahead and remove that excess. Clean that up there a little bit. Make sure that's nice right on top. Now I'm going to take the lively leg. You could get this from livelylegs.com. All they have is the rubber legs. And you can see there's a 90-degree angle on the front one. That helps you signify the front leg. And that fell off my bodkin needle, but there we go. I'm going to tie these in, and these 3 legs are good for stoneflies, but the 3, there's too many for a mayfly. So we're going to cut one set of legs off. And at this point, you want to determine if you want to keep that front set of legs or keep the two back sets of legs. I'm going to use the two back sets of legs. So I'm going to tie them in, pointing towards the rear. Want to get that wrapped in there pretty close. You want that back set of legs, when you fold it over, you want that back set to be close to the abdomen. And it would be like that. You want to make sure you have a one eye space, one eye length for the head of your fly in back of that eye. Go ahead and secure that. Bring my thread back. Now I'm going to cut that top set of legs off. Make sure you don't cut off too much. I'm going to fold that over. Oop. Got to wrap a little bit further back on them. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to secure them right in back of the rear legs. Move that thread up and secure them the rest of the way. And you'll have something like that. For the pheasant tail, there's a lot of things. You can use dubbing for the thorax. I'm going to use a Peacock Herl, and I'm going to tie this in by the tip. I'm going to take off just a little bit of the tip, get that more fragile stuff away. And bring my thread up and in front of those front legs. Take our Peacock Herl and wrap this. Make sure we have it nice to the abdomen so there's no space. Wrap this tight so you get a nice full thorax. Check your bottom side often so you can make sure you have it in there. Bring that right up to those legs. And then we can advance it to in front of the rear legs. Continue wrapping. Check that abdomen or that thorax. Oop. I'm moving those front legs. And then we're going to tie that off in front of the legs. And you can go ahead and break that off. I'm going to take the wing case and fold that over. And we're going to secure that. Going to lift up the wing case, put a couple of wraps right in front of it, and then I'm going to trim off that wing case. I'm going to hold those legs back and tie the head. Take our whip finish. We're going to cut that off, and I'm going to put some head cement on the wing case and the head. Put a little bit of it on the bottom. And here we have a lively Legz pheasant tail nymph. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends, leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.